Save the USA.
Hey, Cole here. Welcome back to Pop Save the USA. This is our second mixtape episode. I come to you on a lovely Thursday evening in my apartment. So if my voice sounds a little different, that's why. I'm using a shitty blue snowball mic from I want to say 2014, maybe even 2013. I remember I spent so much money on this mic when I had started my Sims YouTube channel in, I believe, junior high. Oh the days. Oh the days that were had playing The Sims. Anyways, back to the introduction here. I come to you at 9:25 p.m. in my apartment because I really didn't have time to go into the studio this week to record the mixtape episode. So, I'm using my personal mic, like I said. If it sounds different, sorry. This is what we're working with. I just want to be able to get something out there. And this week has also been nice, but lately in general, I've been feeling a little sad. Sad about many things. The state of the world, obviously, is like the big one, but going through my existential 25-year-old mid quarter life crisis. So, you get the idea. I've been going through the motions, and because of that, I tend to lean on music that speaks to the moment. And I thought maybe I would share some of the music I've been listening to that has been helping me get through my quarter life crisis depression. But I guess before we delve into that, I want to say that I'm going to Chicago tomorrow, which is pretty epic. I've been dying to go to that city for a long time. I've been once before, but for less than 24 hours. It was just for a concert. It was for Red Velvet on their Revelfest tour. I believe that was the name of the tour. Anyways, that was a once in a lifetime kind of show. I don't think Red Velvet will ever be back in the US, which is unfortunate, but we pray that they will return one day. But Chicago relates to the quarter life crisis because my quarter life crisis mainly revolves around I need to spread my wings and explore a new city and move to it. And I crave to be in a city that has trains. I hate owning a car. Listen, I don't want to talk shit about my car. She's done me well, but I just would love to live in a city where I can walk around everywhere and take public transportation. So, this Chicago trip I'm going on tomorrow is the beginning of sussing out the vibes of one city I would potentially be interested in moving to. I'm doing another trip earlier in the summer that will be happening in June, and I'll elaborate more about that when we get closer to it. I don't gotta spill the beans all immediately, but back to the point of the video, I just want to talk about some songs real quick that have been getting me through this depression. Sorry if I'm a little rambly. I'm going off script a lot. There is no script. I just felt like recording. So, number one, I've been listening a lot to Actor by Conan Gray. I am by no means a huge Conan Gray fan. I like songs of his I like here and there, but on the Wishbone album, specifically the first three songs, Actor, this song, Vodka Cranberry, I want to say they call it the trilogy. Those are my shit. Jesus, there's so much noise happening outside my apartment right now. This is why I record in studio. It's nice outside and every fucking motorcycle in this city is out at the moment. If you hear any of what's going on outside, I apologize, but I want to record this and get it out there. So you're going to have to put up with all the extra noises this evening. Consider it the beautiful cacophony of life. Anyways, back to Conan Gray. I've been listening a lot to Actor, and not necessarily because it relates to how I'm feeling right now, but it's one of those songs that are so good to belt while in the shower. And I tend to want to belt in the shower when I'm sad or when I'm happy, to be honest. But it's nice to just scream out the feelings through a ballad. Well, I guess the song's not really a ballad, but it's heavy on the vocals. And it's the perfect song for that. I specifically love singing like the part where he talks about, but the church bells won't stop ringing for an undead wedding day. Ugh, good. Ugh, good stuff. And his storytelling in this song is just so beautiful. I love all the strings in the background. It plays into such a dramatic feeling that one might have when they're missing love that isn't coming into their life. Okay, next up. Next up is Crying Over You by Medium Build. This song tears me up because I relate to it a lot emotionally. I tend to kind of clam up a little bit and not want to express my emotions when I'm feeling depressed. And it kind of it's the man of it all, right? So the chorus talks about thinking about expressing emotions. The chorus says specifically, I thought about crying over you, but I just turned on the TV. I thought about driving to your house, but I got stoned. I thought about reaching for you, but it wasn't that easy. Now I'm crying over you. And his deep tone as he sings this is so emotional. Whoa, that was a loud car. He's just touching an emotion I relate to in terms of kind of numbing out when you're sad over something. In his case, specifically a lover, but in my case, the existential crisis of being 25. I mean, the amount of nights I can say where I've just turned on the TV to not think about how I'm feeling is probably one too many. Okay, next is a huge one for Cole Sparks as well. It's Caterpillar by Florence Road. I don't know what magic Miss Florence Road put into this song, but it also touches on a key part of the sadness I feel. The chorus says, is there something inside of me making believe that black is white? Is this something I can't defeat? Maybe I should try to sleep tonight. Sleep tonight. And specifically the sleep tonight. Ooh, there's pretty music coming from the bar across the street. maybe you can hear it. Back to Florence Road. I'm like so squirrely right now. Apologies. Um, when I'm sad, I tend to do sleep procrastination. I will stay up doing anything in order to not sleep. Because if I sleep, it means I'm not achieving anything. And that is a feeling I've had to wrestle with for a couple years now. But I've gotten a rein about sleeping. I have gotten better about getting to sleep earlier, especially when I'm sad. Because I find that as long as I get myself to sleep, at least something will be good about the next day. That being, I've had an adequate amount of sleep. I highly recommend listening to this song because it's just playing into the emotion of sleep. Yes, well, yes. The emotion of sleep, Cole. Well, yes. Oof, the brain is fried, y'all. Okay, next are a couple Dolly Parton songs I've been listening to a lot. Sometimes when I'm sad, I, I try not to lean too much into the sad songs and more so into songs that are expressing love and beauty in the world because it's a nice reminder to have that. So, the first Dolly Parton song is My Girl, parentheses, My Love, which is technically not a Dolly Parton song. It was originally written by Smokey Robinson. But I find that Dolly Parton's rendition is this beautiful, lightly touched version of his love song. I don't need no money. I don't need to write no checks from the bank because I got all the riches, baby, that anyone could want to claim. And I know what you're gonna say. What you could do to make me feel this way when it's my love, talking about my love. And that is such a nice reminder to have that, like, talking about love, talking about the people you love, reminiscing about the things you love is such a nice way to stay grounded when you're sad, depressed, mad. And the other Dolly Parton song is God's Coloring Book. And when it comes to the concept of God, I'm certainly I'm no devout Christian, but I was raised in a household that believed in Christianity. And I don't go to church currently. I don't go to church at all, I should say. But there is something comforting about thinking about the concept of a monotheistic God. Anyways, I'm getting way over my head here. Fuck it. God's Coloring Book is just a beautiful song about reflecting on all that has been made around you, all of what nature has provided you and other people, and all of the beauty that's showcased within the color, the form, and the line of everyday nature. And to harken back to the reminder of it all, it's a beautiful reminder in this song that the little things like that are what keep us grounded. Okay, next. What a Difference a Day Made, sung by Dinah Washington. There are lots of renditions of this song, but Dinah Washington, her voice is just absolutely smooth on this song. What a difference a day made. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear. Today I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you said you were mine. What I appreciate about this song is it takes time to tell the listener about how 24 hours can change so much of your perspective. And that is something I've been needed to be reminded recently, because I get in my head a lot about, oh, everything must be going wrong. Like today, it's all going wrong. But tomorrow, the song reminds me that tomorrow's a different day. And just because things were sad or depressing or crazy today doesn't mean they will be tomorrow. Okay, next. Ugh, such an underrated artist. Spelling song Destiny Arrives. I love Spelling so much. She has this deep, slightly raspy, but full bodied voice that has I say raspy, but it's almost like a airy, soft spoken quality to it. And this song itself has such a beautiful bass line that kind of moves upwards and then downwards and then upwards and downwards. And I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll have to listen to it. It's this beautiful synth that just moves and waves. I really appreciate the pre chorus lyrics that there's a hole in the sky that's draining my mind. It's more than I can take. And I see the signs in the horizon when I don't know if I can wait. And that's how I have been feeling a lot lately. I just, I see what future I can have, and it's paralyzing. But that paralyzing feeling is something I need to motivate myself for when destiny arrives. Because as spelling says, it's full of surprises. Don't hesitate. What you wouldn't do for love. Ugh. Okay, a smaller little song on here is Sweet Revenge by Ryuichi Sakamoto. He is a very, very, very famous composer from Japan, who I think doesn't always get enough recognition in the United States for how much work he has done. But Sweet Revenge is from his album Sweet Revenge, which I am highly artistically driven by, especially in this moment. Uh, but it's hard to talk about this song because it's purely an instrumental of these beautiful piano riffs with some interludes of jazz instrumentation. Um, I wouldn't describe the song as sad. I would think I would describe it more as melancholy. Other than that, I don't have many other words to describe it other than moody and a little bit soulful as well. I highly recommend listening to it, as well as the entire album of Sweet Revenge. And next is Magdalena Bay's Second Sleep. So this song requires a little bit of preface. Um, Historically, the idea of second sleep refers to a biphasic sleep pattern once common before the Industrial Revolution, before the advent of artificial lighting. People would sleep in two distinct phases, separated by a vivid hour or so of wakefulness, often spent praying or reflecting. However, some researchers have argued that this may have been the body's natural pattern of human sleep. The practice, though, has largely vanished from modern life. Firstly, if you haven't listened to Magdalena Bay before, you absolutely need to get into them. The duo of Matthew Lewin and Micah Tenenbaum, mwah, oh my god, they produce audio gold. I don't think they can make a bad song together, but this song, Second Sleep, touches on this like depression of what it means to power through something despite not having the motivation to do so. And I have felt similarly about my job in the past several years, where I feel like I'm doing it, powering through it, but I have no motivation to continue doing it, but I keep powering through it because it's all I know how to do right now. But things like this podcast and other art I'm working on at the moment are what's helping me separate my job from my creative life. And this song is just very relatable in that sense because it understands the demand of the love of creation and art and what it means to win, but also what it means to feel like you're losing. And lastly, Ventura Highway by America is one of my favorite songs for depressing times, but also probably one of my favorite songs in general. It is. It opens with this beautiful layering of guitars, acoustic guitars, doing a riff, creating these harmonious chords, beating fast. It anticipates the feeling of exploring new things. The song opens with chewing on a piece of grass, walking down the road. Tell me how long you're gonna stay here, Joe. Some people say this town don't look good in snow. You don't care. I know. And the singer here is talking about his place in Omaha, Nebraska. And then the song starts to delve into more of Ventura Highway and dreaming of California and wanting to explore what California has to offer. And it's not that Omaha, Nebraska is bad, but it is something he needs to get a move on with. And that is very, very similar to how I've been feeling lately. It's not that I don't love the city that I'm in. I do love it, but unfortunately, I've just been feeling a calling for some new exploration in life, and if I think about it too hard, I could cry. I just think there's so much more for me out there to explore and to meet. I want to meet the me that is living in a different city right now, a city that's walkable, and a city that is vivacious. I sound so silly, but America by Ventura Highway. America by Ventura Highway. Ventura Highway by America speaks to the feeling of needing to get a move on, but also appreciating the journey that you're on as well. And that is exactly what I want to be doing at the moment. So, this episode is going to be super unedited, and I know it's rambly, but I hope you at least enjoyed listening to me talk about some of the songs that have been getting me through my depression at the moment. I'm not even going to edit this that much. I'm probably going to tack on an intro, an outro, and send it to the podcast gods. So, I hope you enjoyed. my second mixtape episode of Pop Save the USA. My name is Cole Sparks, and I'm your host, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Toodaloo.
Pop Save the USA.